What up, everybody? You're now tuned into the true definition of a sports fanatic. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley, back today with another live stream. And I'm glad to be back in here. I told y'all I was going to be back. We was here last night, had a great show last night. Had my brother T Smalls on. Chopped it up about the Jaguars. We talked about podcasting. We talked about Dave Chappelle. We talked about the LGBTQ community. I mean, you can go check that out. It was a great show. If you have not seen it, go check it out. But we are back in here today with more sports, and I got my man, Mr. John Reid, with me. How you feeling today?
Feeling good, Brandon. Feeling good. They got to win.
Needed that. We needed that win, like last year. I mean, to be historically bad, I'm so glad we off the schneid. We're not going to be historically bad as the Bucks anyway. I think they were at 26 straight, and we were at 20. So, but we're gonna get into some Jags talk, especially this Jaguars versus Seahawks coming up. The coaches and talk about Urban Meyer and them talking about the trade deadline and them talking receivers and getting more help and stuff like that. So we're gonna go into that and break that down. But first, we're gonna start out with a little college football. Now, I have been watching just football in general, college and pro, and football has been excellent to start the season. Now, the NFL had a drop off this past weekend because Sunday, the Monday night game was good, but Sunday overall, it was just a bad set of it was bad matchups. It was a bad slate of games, bad matchups because the games weren't competitive. It just wasn't good. And it's funny because the games were okay, but the first 5 weeks were so good that week 6 was like it was a drop off. You could tell it was a drop off. They were talking about it on Twitter Sunday, like it's a drop off Sunday today. But as far as college has kept it up, man. But we're gonna get into this Spencer Rattler, DJ Uiagalelei, and De'Aaron King and these NIL deals they signed in all season, signed for millions of dollars. Ness, what it is, man? How you feeling? How are you feeling, sir? Let's see. Hold on. Let me edit this real quick. Let's see. What's that? Let's see. Tag you in that. All right. And so let's get this kicked off. I'm gonna read this article, and then we're gonna go back and forth about this article, and we'll chop it up from there. So let me see. Share screen. There we go. All right. It says, with stars like Spencer Rattler, Uiagalelei, and King not holding up their end, will companies rethink larger NIL deals? And I would say I don't think that necessarily they may. This is 3 guys. So I mean, if it was more than 3, I would say maybe. But you got to know, as a company who's looking to invest and sponsor these kids, you got to know people are going to get hurt. So people are going to lose their job. Guys have bad seasons. You got to know that. So they have to factor those things in. So I don't think they'll move away so much from the big deals because the temptation is too great. Like Bryce Young got a huge deal for Alabama, and he hadn't played a down. And that's going to continue to happen. I don't see that trend stopping. But he says, don't expect the commercial that shows DJ Uiagalelei sitting on the bench as all of the fans' bill is in the funk over State's offense. He said, or Spencer Rattler handing the keys to his 2021 Ram TRX to Caleb Williams, just as he handed Williams the keys to the Oklahoma offense. He said, or Miami's De'Aaron King and Bubba Bolden standing with arms in a sling as teammates fill a moving truck full of furniture. I was talking about those Dr. Pepper commercials. He said, because if Dr. Pepper, the Fowler Automotive Group, or the college hunks hauling junk wanted to give a true description of how it has gone for them since jumping into the deep end of the name, image, and likeness game, those would be the spots we'd see on ESPN or local television. Let's see. FAU athlete has unique NIL deal. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, NIL policy has been all over the place since being passed by the NCAA in July. Deals ranging from $30 to more than $1 million. Who got a $30 NIL deal, man? I know it's It's better than nothing. But come on, man, the $30. He say deals paying for appearances or paying in product, while most are low risk, have benefited both parties. Others could cause brands to rethink their strategies in the future. He said, "There's always a level of risk that's weighed with any of these investments," said Rick Harr, a Jupiter resident and visiting expert on the sports business at Harvard Law School. The Pandora's box that is now the NIL has made corporate marketing directors and consulting firms clearly earn their money more than before. The two players many believe at the top of the preseason Heisman watch list, Spencer Rattler and DJ Uiagalelei, were on the bench Saturday. Rattler having lost his job to Williams, Uiagalelei finally being pulled in Clemson's loss at Pittsburgh as the Tigers' offense inexplicably continues to implode. They should have benched him. He had a pick six on the shovel pass. I've never seen that before. I have seen a screen pass be pick six. Thank you to Blake Bortles. Chris Jones picked him off in 2018 in Kansas City and took it back, stiffed on him and took it back for a touchdown. I was like, how you allow a D lineman to catch the screen pass? Yeah. But I've never seen a shovel pass picked off and returned for a touchdown. Had never seen that before.
Yeah.
It says so. See, Rattler has cashed in through endorsement with Raising Cane Fowler Automotive Group. He received 2 vehicles, and he's selling autographs on Cameo. Uiagalelei signed with Dr. Pepper for a series of Fans Build commercials, along with the Bojangles and NFT platform Candy Digital. He reportedly will make more than $1 million. All right, so we could stop it there and we can go into it. So what do you think? You think these companies are going to rethink that? Because that is a lot of money that is being given out for guys who are going to be sitting on the bench.
Yeah, but this advertisement. So it is. I mean, you never know. How I mean, they can't forecast how a season gonna go and how a player gonna perform. And I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle. I think that. I would think that you would think that they would probably put a clause in the contract that, you can always put stipulations in contracts. So I don't think, I think that might be something that, that companies probably do, like, especially if you're not getting the minimum amount of snaps, or you going from starter to bench, or even have something in the contract clause that we'll see how that you'll back in the money, not front end the money. Maybe a clause in there because I think that a college kid making $1 million, I mean, I'm still trying to get used to even hearing something like that. The Clemson quarterback making $1 million as a starting quarterback, where he's now benched, but he's still the same. That's the world we live in. But hey man, you can put a retired player in front of TV, you can put a current player in front of the TV, and there's no assurances that product is going to sell. So it's all taking chances on this. So I don't think that just because of college quarterback season hadn't gone as everyone expected, that he should not have the potential to gain advertisement dollars as if a retired player who might have been on top of the world. I mean, it's just like OJ. OJ was making Hertz commercials and making millions, but you won't see him on a Hertz commercial now.
So, no, you won't.
So it's it's like supply and demand. You gotta. Obviously, I agree with what you said about that article, that they're gonna have to make smarter decisions. Everybody knew that. I saw the young man at Clemson play a little bit of quarterback in a backup role last year, but anybody in their right frame of mind would have known that from what they lost with Trevor and Etienne, that Clemson wasn't going to be a national contender, a national championship contender the year after that type of talent left. And I don't know. I like you said, who in the what college you get a $35 contract?
Yeah, when I saw that $30, I didn't know guys were signing $30 deals. Let's see what they
Maybe
say. Go ahead.
I say maybe they should not start at $1 million. I know the Alabama starting quarterback getting. I think he's got $1 million deal. Maybe when you're starting this out, maybe the ceiling shouldn't be. Maybe the Clemson quarterback, and I don't know what did they say how much the Spencer Rattler was getting at Oklahoma.
Oh, he got like two vehicles. So I know he got two vehicles. They say you either get paid in money or get paid in product. So he got two cars and he got something else. I don't know how much money he got, but I know he got like two cars out of the deal. Because that's why they said he handed his keys to his the 2021 with the TRX. They said,
Yeah.
let's see, man, where is it at? Yeah, a 2021 Ram TRX is what they got.
But I'm old fashioned, man. Maybe I mean maybe that's the reason why they're not playing well. He's in those. What kind of car he got? TRX.
Yeah. Fowler Automotive Group. He received two vehicles, and he cashed in with Raising Canes, and he's selling autographs on Cameo.
Selling his own autograph. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, selling autographs on Cameo. Now, now those two being benched is, I would say, it was surprising to me because Spencer Rattler, he was billed like he was a Heisman candidate.
Yeah, he was.
So, but they said one of the things that have derailed him too, also, is his attitude. They say he has a very poor attitude. They've talked about that since high school with his attitude, and play slipped, and they say bad attitude. They say, yo, get him out of there. Caleb Williams has sparked that offense. Now, DJ Uiagalelei is different. Trent Dilfer called them out today. He's either today or yesterday. Basically called out Clemson. And before he said it, he said, I know I'm gonna probably get a call from Dabo. He said, and I like Dabo. He said, but I gotta say it. He said that DJ Uiagalelei has regressed. Yeah. He said, and not only has he regressed, he said Trevor also had issues too while he was there, because he said Trevor, he said even Trevor will tell you. He said you bring Trevor on and talk to him, he'll tell you that his mechanics, his footwork, all of it got sloppy the longer he was at Clemson.
Yeah.
So it's happening to DJ right now.
He ran a little bit too much when he probably shouldn't have ran too much. And then, I watched Clemson play a couple of times this season. I mean, they don't throw the ball downfield enough. There's not enough downfield shots, and it just seems it's just like they complacent on being mediocre on offense, and they don't have a defense that can dominate teams or any, like they've had those past teams. And I mean, they got to get more talent. They got to get speed on the field and all the things that we've known about Clemson teams in the past. But I watched them against North Carolina, and I North Carolina State, and I mean they had a problem scoring, even in the red zone.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know. I mean, you be on top for a long time, you get complacent. You maybe that might be the reason. But he's got to get out and knock on doors, and improve the recruiting. And maybe Georgia taking too many of the players that he would have normally got. But that's the same here in Florida with the Gators. I mean, you got to put recruiting at the top of the list, because you can only so much out coach. But when he's got top 5 talent all the way across the board, and you got 3 stars and they got 5s. I don't care how great of a coach you are, man. The odds are against you that you're going to beat that team, and I think that's what's happened in our region right now. It's like Georgia got everything, man.
Yeah, they do. Everything.
I mean, to be honest, they got a pro defensive line. I mean, that's an NFL caliber defensive front that they got with size, speed, and everything, and they got depth. Yep. And you got to not fall asleep at the wheel, and just, I don't have any problem with a kid getting money, on those contract deals, and if there's an audience that he's selling that autograph and he's getting people to buy it, so be it. We live in a market society, so I don't have no issue with that. But I think it you don't want to have something that go way up here and then you see this kid dropping, because everything that college kid doing, he done gone from a hot shot with advertisement endorsement deals to starting to now watching games on the sideline. And then like everybody know it, everybody know and it's like maybe they shouldn't start out giving these guys $1 million. Maybe it should be like, who knows, 500,000, maybe a car or something like that. But I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I always feel though with anything, advertising is just like supply and demand. If there's a market for your product, and I'm speaking of a player, if you got the if your personal brand can go out and attract an audience that want to buy what you endorse, then so be it. So it's on the companies that hand out that money to make sure they do their homework to make sure how much of a guy's marketability is still going to be continuing if their team is like not winning, or they're not in championship content, not playing for a national championship. And you got to factor all those as risk. And if that risk is greater than what he can bring to your table, then maybe it ain't the fault of the athlete. It's probably the fault of the company not doing enough to do their research and just want to grab bag and try to get in and get this guy locked up. And one thing I'm surprised that there are not more shoe contract deals to these college kids.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought it'd be more, because that's what it is. It's been like that for basketball for a long time, where you get a blue chip prospect and you want him to be affiliated with Nike or Adidas. Then you have him playing in all your camps and supplying them with shoes and everything that went on for the last 25 years. So I would thought that the battle would be between Adidas, Nike, Reebok, and
New Balance.
would be New Balance, and they would be like the ones with the, have a monopoly on giving out those deals. But evidently it hadn't been. It's been more local than national.
Local deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it has. So it's going to be interesting going forward. I think that if you, like you said, putting clauses in them. So maybe, I don't know if would it be playing time, or if you lose your position, if you get hurt, this is the first year of it. So they're going to refine it, especially those companies that gave out stuff to Spencer Rattler, DJ Uiagalelei, Derek King, and Bolden, Bubba. But I don't see it changing much. I see them even more companies get into it, because even with the losses that those companies may have taken, which we don't know what losses they've taken from those guys not playing, but I guarantee you, overwhelming majority of those people that have given out deals or given out product to those kids to have them on, they've profited greatly from it.
Oh yeah, no question. Especially the ones who have, having success.
Yes.
And you got them locked up. I want to, another thing I like to know, if you lock up the Alabama quarterback, so I would like to know what it means that he can't do any other endorsements with any other companies.
Yeah, I wonder, because can he get multiple deals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So shoot, what's that? Shane Ewer, I think that's his name. It's either Shane Ewer, Caleb Ewer, some Ewer, Ohio State quarterback. He left school early to go up to Ohio State. Quinn Ewers. I always mess up his first name. Quinn Ewers. He got $1 million deal. Yeah, he got $1 million deal. Let's go say they haven't earned out all the wrinkles on this. Maybe they should put a cap on it. I think that's what's coming. Yeah, that's what's. Yeah, they can put a cap on it. and we'll see them being less generous to probably just lower level players, because you're not going to be able to really haggle star players. It's just
Right.
not. It's not something you're going to be able to do, because they're going to have their pick of the litter. They're going to have many options of people to be sponsored by.
Yeah. Or just have something where they get a nice signing bonus, and then just, it doesn't matter when you get the money, as long as you get the money. So maybe do a signing bonus at the front end of the contract, and then if everything, have some stipulations put in that even if it, have some performance bonuses, that if they
Yeah.
if the sales go up or something like that, then you can increase, they get extra money instead of getting
Mm-hmm.
a pay cut. I mean, not a pay cut, but some type of infringement where they couldn't earn all their money. But boy, I tell you
Well,
what, that's a different world, man.
yeah, it is. And you know what? I just thought about it. This is a an example of what's done in the dark comes to the light,
Mhm.
because what's going on now, what we're talking about, these deals, they've been going on for a long time.
Oh,
It's just out in the open now, but this has been going on for a long time. Giving out cars,
yeah,
giving out shoes, giving out product, merchandise. With the Ohio State, they was trading memorabilia and stuff for tattoos, and game worn equipment for tattoos, in Ohio State. And don't forget about Florida State, call them Free Shoe University, and them getting all them players getting in trouble by those credit card scams, and them stealing clothes and all of that. So man, this has been going on for a long time.
yeah, yeah.
It's been
Buying
going on for a long time.
clothes, buying $100 worth of clothes and paying $10 for them.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
What is
That's
that?
it.
Peter
Mm-hmm.
Warwick and
Peter Morgan, them, yeah, all yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Free Shoe University. That's what it is. So,
yeah, man.
but yeah, it is what it is. So, but man, we got yeah, what's that? Florida, Georgia coming up. So I got my accents at the bottom there. You see it. I got the little orange and black for Halloween because it's spooky season. All the way, always around this time of year, weird things tend to happen. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. It's what Georgia's riding too high right now. They're riding too high, and Florida, no matter how bad Florida is, they always seem to give them a game
Yeah.
or to beat them. They do. So it's going to be very interesting. But I think that this year, I don't think they got a chance this year. I think Georgia's going to knock the floor with those guys this year.
Man, don't say that with my man Sean if he listening, because boy, I'm not a
Mhm.
Georgia man. I don't like the Bulldogs. You know,
Yeah.
but it is what it is. They number one ranked team in the country. They have very weak. They have no weaknesses basically, and they got
Yep.
a great defense with a nice
What
tight
you?
end.
I think the way you beat Georgia, you got to pressure that quarterback.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the way you beat them. Run the ball and pressure that quarterback. If you can run the football successfully and get that quarterback uncomfortable, you got a shot. But if he's comfortable and you can't do anything against that defense, it's going to be a long day. Let's see. Next, say, do you think this may also help with college enrollment, and how will this affect HBCUs? Um,
that's a good question. I mean, yeah, that's a good question.
Look, yeah, he talking about Go Dogs with a Florida State
Oh
AV
Lord,
on
oh dog.
it. Yeah, he talking about Go Dogs with a that's Ness with that. He Florida State. He
So he
talking about
went
Go
from Florida
Dogs.
State, and now he's rooting for the
It's a
Bulldogs.
hey, it's only because it's Florida. That's all. He got to root for Georgia because it's Florida. That's all.
Oh
You
man,
know, you know how that goes. But will it help with the college enrollment? Overall, I don't think so. I don't think college enrollment is going to continue to trend downward. Um, because colleges have been closing around the country for the last 3 years, slowly but surely. So I don't think that's going to stop. I don't think that trend is going to reverse. But as far as HBCUs, I think it can help HBCUs, especially if they can continue to get um, good players.
yeah,
You got what's that? McCord Maker went to Howard. He's a 5-star prospect. He could have went anywhere in the country. He can still sign huge deals while he's at Howard. through that NIL deal. So I think that this is gonna benefit HBCUs. They just have to continue to keep recruiting better talent and getting those guys to come there. But I think what's that? Mikey Williams, he talked about going to HBCU. I don't know if he is. He's the number one prospect for 2022 for basketball coming out of high school, and he went viral talking about it, maybe going. We've had a few players who were going to go D1 and they ended up going to HBCUs. So it's little by little. It's slow. It's baby steps, but as long as they keep going, guys are going to show up and they're going to get those deals. So I think it's going to be beneficial for HBCUs.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, brother.
Yeah. Let's see. What we got next? Oh, yeah. So we're going to switch topics. We're going to go from college to pro. We're going to stay on pro for a little minute here because I got a nice little list. So, but we're going to start with what I picked for my thumbnail pick, the Washington football team and this email cover up, because they're covering these emails up because we know what's in those emails. Yeah. I mean, come on. And we know what's in those emails. So that's why Roger Goodell comes out and says that they're not releasing the emails because you had those who were a part of it. They want to remain anonymous. And then the people who are representing those people saying that that's a lie. But we know why they're going to keep it anonymous. And I hope Mark Davis continues to press the NFL to release those emails. He said, because you strung up John Gruden and I had to pay him off for him to go away. I want to see what's in those emails for Washington because Washington has to pay. And it just goes to show you that Roger Goodell doesn't have as much power as you think he does. He has power over the players. That's about it. But he works for the owners. He can't hold the owners accountable when they sign his checks. He can't. So what is he going to do? What is he going to say?
Well, that's what I say. I think it's a room full of greedy owners. They never held accountable. They're not going to be held accountable. You got egos in the room. You got a room full of billionaires, and they don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to be exposed. They don't want to be held accountable. Yeah. And you got one commissioner who's outnumbered. He's outgunned. I mean, and I don't think he sets policy. I think he's outnumbered. And then you go back with this Kroenke thing. You know, you can't promise a city. You took a football team out of a city that was under. He had penalties that he had to pay to take that Rams team out of St. Louis into L.A. And he said he was going to pay it. He hadn't paid it. He don't plan on paying it, and it's in the billions now. And he walked the league to help pay the lawyer costs and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And it just disturbs me because it just seems like, you know, it's a rich man's club. They make all the decisions. They make all the rules. They're making the rules as they go along with this Washington thing. You know, you had a football coach. He was definitely wrong. You know, he shouldn't have done what he did. You know, the remarks, the emails, and all that. But the action was only taken because, number one, he criticized the commissioner, and the first batch of emails went out. The owner of the Raiders sat on his hands. Nothing happened. Then another batch of these emails went out, and that was enough to make him lose his job. And I don't know. I cover this league. I covered the NBA. I feel the NFL has more power than some politicians.
Yeah. They have influence. Yeah.
They got influence, they got money, it's a business cycle that can't be broken. You know, that even when they make their own mistakes, it's almost assured that they're going to make billions no matter what. You know, whether it's the excitement of the game, whether it's not the TV contracts, it's how I will give them this. They do a great job with promotion, of promoting their league. around the
Yes.
world. They do a great
Yes.
job with that. And even when you're upset with them, or even if they, like this situation with the Washington football team, where there's more to this story, and they don't want to release what's the real story, and you see people hurt in the process, and you still watch every stadium. I watched Red Zone, and every stadium that they showed on Red Zone from 1 o'clock through those 4 o'clock games, everything was literally full.
Yeah.
And it's almost hard to make that. They played in empty stadiums last year, and now everything is full, packed to every seat. And it's just, people love this game. I don't know if the game love the people as much as the people love the game, you know.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and I think that this NFL, National Football League, owe the fans so much more than what they give back. You know, you know
Yeah.
that situation with Washington, it would be like any business needing to disclose the facts if something has went wrong in your company, and there's been people been hurt by it. Everybody deserves an answer. You don't investigate
Hmm.
something for 6 months. Oh, we investigated, and now we're not going to disclose the findings. That's not how you do things, man. Not at
No.
this. It might be how you do things in Russia, but it's not
Hmm.
how you do things in the USA. You disclose your facts. You disclose what you
Yep.
investigate. If you don't disclose, if it's an in-house investigation, then what's the point? You know, or get somebody
Hmm.
from the outside to investigate, and then you disclose what's going on. But I think it's a good old boys club, and if one owner get tarnished, they're gonna make sure that he don't. That's basically what it is.
Hmm. Yeah. They
And
said, you see, one of the people that's in agreement with them concealing the emails and not releasing them is Jerry Jones.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
I
I'm
wonder
not
why.
surprised. I'm not surprised
Yeah. Yeah.
because I think I don't want to make accusations, but hey, it is what it is, man. I think there's a lot go on in franchises. I think there's a lot. Go back to the situation that happened in Carolina a couple of years ago. Everything in the book went on there. You know,
Yeah.
and that the power, they got so much power to make people be quiet. But when it gets out, what it do? Slap the hands on the wrist, or it's so bad where they have to, the guy have to relinquish his franchise because it's that bad over a period of time.
Oh, oh yes. You talking about Jerry Richardson?
Yeah, Jerry.
I
Jerry.
I back when I was doing just audio before I got started doing video, I did an episode about that, and just the findings from it, just so egregious. Man,
Oh,
he was he asking he asked one of the ladies, he asked her, can you shave her legs? He's in the
yeah,
office.
yeah. I mean, but that's
Yo, so yeah,
that's rich men going wild. I mean, that's basically what it is.
yeah,
He's
that is.
got power. He can do whatever he wants. He's not held accountable. And the,
Yep.
and the people that work in that type of toxic environment got to, unfortunately, got to deal with it.
Yep. Yep. They got
Power.
to do
I've said this a couple of times on your show, man.
power.
Two things that really can destroy you is money and power. If you don't know how to handle either one of those two, you could be in trouble. You can be glorified and rich, but it can
Yeah.
also destroy you too. It can make you feel that you invincible, that you can do whatever you want. Nobody gonna you're not held accountable for anything, and then you get it increases. You get bigger. you
Yep.
you keep feeding yourself, and you get bigger and you're bigger. Take more chances, and then who knows what
Yeah.
happened after that. But I think that is a problem with those owners. A lot of people used to complain about the players. They just want money. They don't want to play with passion. All they ask for is money and do these things. But in this in this dog eat world of professional sports, they don't have any safeguard. They get thrown out like a bag of trash.
Yeah, yeah, they do. He said, "Let's say that's real talk, Uncle Jay." Yeah, that's real talk. You're right, man. 650,000 emails. 650,000. I'm sure that it's so much dirt in there. It's so much dirt. They was like, "Yo, we got to bury this. We gotta get rid of it. We gotta delete it. We do cleanse it, whatever, because it's that bad. It's that they don't want to release it. That means it's that bad."
That bad. We'll hear about it in about 30 years. They'll resurface.
Yeah,
It'll be like the
get a
conspiracy.
30 for 30.
It'll be conspiracy like the JFK's assassination, where we'll start having theories and come up with our own ideas of what happened.
He said Gruden has threatened to talk about everything. Yeah, he has. He's had some cryptic messaging too. He said the truth will come out. That's what he said. And I would not be surprised if he'd be behind it, because I think Mark Davis is going to press the issue. Gruden is going to press the issue. And I wouldn't be surprised if others press the issue, man. The majority of the owners, though, the reason it won't get out is because the owners overall are most likely going to be in lockstep. Because Jerry Jones coming out and saying what he said, that he's okay with what they found and what they're going to do and the steps they're going to take. He's the voice of what would be the majority. Even if you got a couple of them who don't want to go along with it, Jerry seems to have the tone and be the voice in the room when it comes to the owners and how they move.
Well, let me ask this here. So wasn't Gruden's brother the head coach of the Washington when all this was going down?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, Jay Gruden was head coach. I don't know. At this 2011, let's see, when was Jay Gruden?
Yeah, what was
how many years? Let's see. Let's look at how many years he was in. Yeah, and you saying that, I forgot about that. And so he had a front row seat to everything that was going on. Let's see, as a coach, Washington, 2014 to 2019. So those emails went back to 2011. So he got the job probably around that time. They probably were still emailing back and forth still in 2014.
So just think how much he knows. I mean, he was in the middle of it. He was the head coach.
Right. And shoot, he was squeaky clean himself, man. He got in some trouble too.
Yeah.
But
man, just thinking he was still in Jacksonville, what would be the question we'd be asking him?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he knows. And Gruden say he's gonna release it. So I'm waiting to see what happens with this, man. I'm waiting to see.
Well, it's not going away. Even though the NFL want to shove things under the rug, this story is not going away. There's going to be some leaks. It's going to be some more stuff come out, and it's not going away. And people already have their opinions about Snyder. They feel that the league is protecting them. That the league don't want to expose whatever going on. So it's, I don't know. I heard this. It used to be for not the Redskins no more. It used to be for Washington that they had a waiting list for the season tickets. It was almost like about 10 years waiting list for tickets. They no longer have a waiting list.
Wow.
No longer have a waiting list. It's been like that for like the last 6 or 7 years that they don't no longer have a waiting list for tickets in DC for the football team.
Wow.
A lot of people don't, a lot of people upset with the owner.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been he's been defiant. He's been crass. I think he's been insensitive. He hasn't answered for any of the things that he's been accused of. Just the women alone and the cheerleaders and the women in the organization saying what they went through, that whole the body paint thing what they did for like the higher ups and the boosters and the co-owners and the sponsors, where they had them pretty much naked with paint on their body, and then the pictures being floated around and email back and forth between Gruden and Bruce Allen, and just inappropriate behavior. I mean, if Jerry Richardson was telling women in the office, hey, let me shave your legs, I can just imagine what was going on in Washington.
Yeah, because what is fact? A lot of those cheerleaders for Washington is the one who went on national television and exposed all the things that they were doing. They were doing like, the organization was making them, have where they, dancing around in meetings and things, man.
Yeah. So when
Which
the
was
NFL, when the NFL survived the Kaepernick debacle, they assumed the position of being invincible. They probably did think they were invincible after Kaepernick.
Well, that's the problem with the whole NFL. That word, what you just said, they feel they are invincible and they feel they can direct the message. Even if you go back to concussions, I mean, it's like, we don't have a concussion problem. No matter what the research says. And they've all, I don't say always, but they have that attitude that we're bigger than anything. You can't break us, and
Right.
that's, I mean, I don't think that's a great, think a way to think of what a business, but they're $1 billion business, but it's all gonna catch up sooner or later.
Right.
You can't be on top for if you're not running your business correctly. It's hard to stay on top. And
Shoot, not the,
I think the commissioner, I'll say this on record. I think the commissioner needs to take control of the league, like Roselle and others did. Those guys were perceived to be bad guys by the owners, but when you're the commissioner, you're supposed to protect that shield. And if you're commissioner, you're not supposed to protect the owners.
Yeah.
You're supposed to nothing is bigger than the league.
Yeah.
And I don't think I feel my own personal opinion. I don't think he's done that. I don't think he's done his job when it comes to that. I think he's done his job that they're fat in their pockets and the money is still being made and that's all that's a concern. They still getting the mega contract, the TV contracts, and I told you this and I say this on record. I don't like to see the NFL when you put out statements and you paint your end zone in racism and you feel you advocating, but then again you're not pushing the needle. I don't think you're doing anything. I think you just go back and paint your end zone NFL.
Yep.
Because if you just saying things, just to have the conscience that we're aware and we support what's going on in this country, and then it's a year later after George Floyd, and what have you really done? I haven't seen much. Things have calmed down. That there's not people protesting in the streets over police brutality. So, I still see in racism and these type of messages, but I don't hear anybody from the league advocating those kind of things. It's just like a blank statement now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've said that from the beginning. Well, let me get Nesco comments, but I'm about to go in on that just a second before we go to the next topic. So yes, Uncle Jay, they consistently try to control the narrative. Yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah.
He said, yes, the commissioner should, but he wants to be liked by everybody, which is his downfall.
Problem. That's the problem right there. You like
by
by owners, and all the owners are just using them. Basically, I mean, they just fattening their pockets and getting away with everything. That's the one thing I could say about Pete Rozelle and Tagliabue. And I know for sure Tagliabue because when I was in New Orleans doing Katrina, Tagliabue, Tom Benson wanted to move the team out of New Orleans and put it in San Antonio. Tagliabue said, "Look, you're not moving this team. We're gonna fix the dome. Tom Benson was saying that the practice facility was damaged, so Tagliabue and people from the NFL office went to New Orleans, toured the facility, and the only damage they could find was that the National Guard was camped out there. That was it. There wasn't no damage at all.
Yeah.
And he was gathering politicians and putting together all kind of things in San Antonio. Tagliabue came in and said, "You're not moving this team out of New Orleans. I don't, you're not moving it." And
Yeah.
if this was the same situation that occurred with this commissioner, where the money would have been a lot more in San Antonio than New Orleans during that time, that team wouldn't been in New Orleans. Believe me.
Yeah. The San Antonio Saints.
That's what they were going to become if Tagliabue hadn't stepped in.
Wow. That's something. But yeah, that and the whole markings and ends on end racism, Black Lives Matter, the social justice sayings on the back of the helmets, the jerseys, even on the NBA courts, the stuff they wore in their jerseys. At no point do I think that any of that matters. It doesn't. It doesn't do anything. It's just words. There's no point where you or me, we're out and about and say we're out in the town and we come across a group of racist guys and they go, "Oh, wait, the NFL said end racism, so we're not going to beat you up today." No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to stop people from being who they are. They may conceal it more, but it's not going to stop being who they are. So those things are empty. They're empty. And what it did, it appeased the simple-minded is what it did. Yeah. It appeased the simple-minded. People like me, people like you, we know those things mean nothing. Give me something tangible. Don't say end racism. Don't say Black Lives Matter. Don't say if not now when. Don't say none of those things. Give me action. Show me what you're going to do for my people.
Well, which they had. What have they done? Nothing but words.
What have they done? What have they done? Words. They're giving you words. That's it. That's it. That's all they've done is giving you words. So. Well, we spent some time on the Washington football team. I didn't think I'd be talking about them outside of this emails, man. But yeah, man, it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get into this Jaguar news, man. We got to get into this Jaguar news. Talk about the Jaguars. They got the Seahawks coming up Sunday. I've seen Tyson Campbell is going to play. Miles Jack is going to play. AJ Cann is going for the year. That's not good. Ben Bartch got to play, so it's going to be an issue. Now I will say, that was one of our biggest question marks, and they've only given up 8 sacks. So I got to give it to them. They only given up 8 sacks. They have been great in run blocking, especially Cam Robinson. Cam Robinson has been a road grader because they run the football off that right side. That's what they do. And they get good results. I don't think I've seen them run off the right side and it be a negative play. I haven't seen it this year. But overall, I think that we're going to catch Seattle at a really good time because Geno Smith, to me, I don't see it. But we are going up there with a defense that has been it's been lackluster, and Geno Smith could man, he could turn into Tom Brady against that defense if they can't, especially if they can't get pressure. If they can't get pressure, it's going to be an issue. And Geno is mobile enough to where all I can do is run around till somebody get open, especially DK Metcalf. You can't cover DK Metcalf for more than 3 seconds. You can't do it. You're going to have to get pressure.
Yeah. Well, I think I think this game gonna come down to their defense. I mean, I'll say this. I mean,
Cisco's gonna play. Let's go say they say Cisco's gonna play.
Yeah, well, that's what they said 2 weeks ago too, and he got 2 snaps. So,
well, yeah.
Let's bring out the elephant in the room. I'm gonna say this. I mean, I have not been impressed with the defensive coordinator Joe Cullen. I hear him every week. I don't like excuses. I mean, I want to know if you're gonna fix the problem, fix the problem. I don't want to hear like, well, our pressure percentage is good, but you're not getting sacks on the quarterback. Right. I don't want to hear that our guys are lined up in position And here we're going into week 8, and you basically switching your coverage from, it shouldn't have taken 7 games. I mean, what, 1 and 5? So it shouldn't have
6
taken
games.
six games to figure out that playing straight up man it wasn't going to be a problem. I I think you, as a defensive coordinator, you got to put your guys in the best position possible to win.
Yeah.
If I got to bring in an extra safety to cover the tight end, that even though they won that game against Miami, where the tight end was open too much, and you got
Yeah.
to fix I mean, these problems should have been fixed in week 2, 3, and now we looking at week 7. I mean,
Yep.
I will say this though, the offensive line. I thought I'd never say this, but the offensive line has performed much better than I thought.
Much better than I thought. I thought Trevor was going to lead the league in sacks, getting sacked. I thought he was going to be number one, and for them to have only given up 8, part of it is Trevor too. It's not just the offensive line.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Part of it is Trevor too. Trevor is very savvy with the ball and getting it out of his hands, especially now. He understands that he can't just throw the ball up no more. Like in college, you had them wide open windows, and so now he sees it. Now he say the windows are smaller, and he's getting used to the NFL's game speed.
Well,
And they especially against the Dolphins. I think what's the who did we play? The Bengals. They did against the Bengals.
yeah.
Pretty much for his last 3 games, they've made it a point for him to get the ball out of his hands very quickly.
Yeah.
So, and I think that has contributed to it. But now AJ Cann is down. Is Linder going to play?
Now Linda's out for Sunday, so Tyler Shatley will start, and Ben Barch will be at AJ Kane. AJ out for the season, and
yeah, he done.
they said Linda not out, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But I say this. I agree with you. I'm not a big fan of Gino. I think he's having problems. I watched the game against the New Orleans, and so many timeouts. The clock going down, and he's got to call a timeout, and it's tough to come in and replace a guy like Russell Wilson, but it just seems like he doesn't have command of the offense. He doesn't seem like he has. He was sacked 5 times, and I don't care who you are. If your line getting blowed up and you getting sacked 5 times, then it's hard to it's hard to get to any type of rhythm. But man, you got a guy like DK Metcalf. He caught an 84-yard touchdown when they first scoring. I looked at a certain point in the game, and he didn't have a catch after that 84-yard TD. So definitely, I feel that the Jaguars vulnerable to the big play. That he's a factor. I mean, he's going to be a factor in that game, whether they got Geno throwing or the third string at quarterback. That he's going to be a factor in, because you can get an ideal matchup with the Jaguars secondary that can get him free. But I just like to see those guys come out, blitz, whatever you got to do to It just seemed like Geno was disrupted by the Saints. It just seemed like he saw pressure from inside, outside. He never looked like he was in a rhythm at all for the whole game. Even that 84-yard touchdown, it just seemed like he was never in a rhythm. And that's the way that the Jaguars defense got to play. They got to just make them, I don't think Seattle has a great offensive line at all. I do respect their receivers. They got a hurt, the running back is out, and I just think they got to come out and be a attacking defense. You can't sit back, even if you play zone. There's a way to play zone, and there's a way to be sitting back and not allowing pass completions to happen, and you just staying in front of your guy, not getting beat, but they got to be active. I mean, if it
Yeah.
takes double coverage on DK, then double him. You know, I mean, I don't. I think a lot of teams double him. You know, there's a lot of teams don't have a Jalen Ramsey where you can play him single coverage the whole game. You know,
Yeah.
so I feel that the defensive coordinator got to put these guys in position to win, man. And if it takes double coverage, you know, don't allow their tight end to make plays because he's capable of making plays. Their tight end is Seattle's tight end, and they
Yeah.
just gotta. I want to. I think the offense is fine, to be honest. You know, they
Yeah.
don't have the speed guy and all that, but I like what I've seen from Jamal Agnew. I
Love
like,
what I've seen.
yeah, they can go deep. If you know, he may not go throw a shot all the time in a game, but there's a few times that he's gonna throw downfield of Marvin Jones, at least attack that and go over the top. So
Yeah.
I think the offense is fine. I've liked their progress from week one to where we're at right now. I don't like the defense. I don't think they're getting enough pressure. I don't think they've solved the tight ends underneath routes behind the
Mm-hmm.
linebackers in front of the safeties. And they won that game against the Dolphins in spite of the defense. But they did have a great, I will give them credit on this. That fourth down play that they stopped Miami, when they got the possession, they get the field goal, that was a hell of a
Yeah.
play. But they got to
Yeah,
play
it
like
was.
that on every play. Is to play like they did on that 4th-and-1 play.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Let's see. Let's say he say Colin. He talking about Cullen. He said Cullen is hot garbage full of excuses.
Yeah, too many
Um,
excuses, man.
yeah.
I
Say
have to call
DK.
it as I see it, but yeah.
Yeah. Say defense. You brought it up. Defense can't cover the middle of the field week after week. It's an issue. It's
Put
an
your
issue, man.
third safety out there on the field and play number 5. Play them straight up on the hot tight end. That's all you got to do. You don't
Yeah.
and put
Rudy Ford has played well.
exactly and
Hmm.
put Cisco in the game. I mean, Urban Meyer said on Monday that we got to get him on the field. If the head coach saying he got to get on the field, then the defensive coordinator better have his job to get this kid some reps, get him on the field. You know.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
unacceptable. What is he, a wasted rookie year when he could be gaining experience? I mean, let's be real here. Andrew Wingard is not the long term answer at safety in Jacksonville. No matter how
Yeah.
hard he plays, no matter what you know,
Hmm. Right.
he's not the
It's just
long term future in Jacksonville. You got to get these
nope.
draft picks in the game. It's time to start playing them. We're not playing for the playoffs, so you're playing
Right.
for now and next season. So it's time to, if you got young talent that you depended on for next
Hmm.
season and the season after that, why wait till next year to start playing them? I mean, that don't make any sense. They're 1-5. We're not 5-5 and knocking on the door of a playoff run. Play the
Yeah.
young guys.
Yeah. Play the young guys. You're right. Say we don't have any inside pressure from the defensive tackle position. No, we haven't got much pressure from them though. They've been solid, been decent. They've been okay. I haven't really seen them getting blown off the ball too much. Teams haven't been able to run it down our throat. But they do. We need pressure, man. We need to
Yeah,
get pressure.
yeah, no question.
And
But
say you say we got a double DK.
yeah, definitely. But do stunting. I mean, I want to like when you watch games on
Hmm.
Sunday. I see guys going into the A hole, the other one going in the X, and they crisscross and
Yeah.
they making plays even when they blocked. You go back to that Tennessee game, that 4th-and-goal play. I mean, he was blocked, but he had enough instinct to fill the gap and
Yep.
stop Josh Allen from scoring. And that's, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what
That's what
these
you want.
guys got to do. Find a way to get pressure on the quarterback, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They got to generate pressure from somewhere. I don't know how they're going to do it. Josh Allen played a great game
Yeah,
against Miami. I think hopefully he can turn the corner because the whispers, have been starting about him being a bust. I say, dude, you don't need. I don't think he needs to be the focus of attention. Caleb on Chason needs to be the focus of your attention. Taven Bryan needs to be the focus of your
Wait a
attention.
minute, man. Hey, last I heard, he was put on the inactive list.
Right.
He was inactive by Toffoli.
Yeah.
And
No, go ahead, and then I'll read
I'm
this.
just saying, I think the experiment is over, man. If you there's no more,
Right.
he's not getting a 10th life no more. It's over, man.
No, he's not getting a 10th life. Let's see, Uncle Jay, you should apply for a coaching job. I'll come with you. If we can see this stuff, why can't they? I say that all the time, man. It's obvious. It's some stuff. It's some things that are obvious.
I might need to apply for Reebok coaching job. We're getting our tails whipped 30-0, man.
Who beat Reebok 30-0?
The Reigns. How in the world did you lose the Reigns 30-0, man? Come on, man. 30-0. We ain't never lose the Reigns. There was a few we didn't score, but we ain't never got beat 30-0 when I was there. 30-0, man. That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
I'm sorry, I had to say it, but come on, man, 30-0.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. So what's your prediction for Sunday? Yeah, and that's a wow. Yeah, wow. So my prediction for Sunday, I say they get another win. I think they get another win. I think they've gotten some momentum. Trevor he's getting confident, man. He's getting very confident. Give the ball to James Robinson, please. He needs more than 78 yards Sunday. If the Jaguars want to win Sunday, he needs to have a 130 plus yard game. It has to start
25 carries too, not 18.
And a touchdown or two. We need that. Because the play action, dude, going off that play action, especially Jamal Adams. Yeah, they said he's a problem. I heard who said that he's a problem?
Bevel.
Yeah, Bevel said, "Oh, well, he's a problem." Yeah, and he can be had as well. Especially if you're gonna do some jerk routes or some double moves on him, you're gonna mess him up. You're gonna mess Jamal Adams up. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's the top paid safety. And I think that Jason Pierre-Paul has more career interceptions than him. So, I mean,
well, you got to play. Well, he played defensive end, right?
He played defensive end. He plays defensive end.
Yeah. So, well, I looked on there because they hyping him up that he's got the most interceptions for a safety since 2017. Well, no, wait a minute. That's sacks. I'm sorry.
Most sacks.
He got the most sacks.
Now he do have that. Now he's gonna have to watch that. But in coverage,
nah,
I don't think you're gonna have to worry about him too much.
He's got 2 pass breakups this year, no interceptions.
Yeah, and I think he has like 2 career interceptions. Let's go say Jags 21, Seahawks 17. What you got on that?
I don't know, man. I'm still thinking. I might be leaning on the Jaguars, man. It's just like the history of Glenn in Seattle. This is not, I say this though, man.
Yeah, we 0-3 in Seattle. We got to get a win. Yeah,
and 3-13 all time on West Coast games. So that's the last time they went out there, they beat Oakland in the last game in Oakland.
Yeah.
But this is not the Seattle teams that we accustomed of seeing in the past.
Yeah.
Not Russell Wilson. Their defense is not even as tough as it used to be. Even though they got a few guys, holdovers, but I think the Jaguars. If the Jaguars come out and be aggressive, like you said, utilize the run game, use that play action passing, and just really take the 12-man, take the crowd out the game and really punch it on them. And the only reservations I have at all, I don't know about the defense. I don't know I still feel they're vulnerable to the big play.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a big play guys like Metcalf, I just that's the only thing I think is an issue
Yeah.
that could prevent them from winning is giving up big plays, you know,
Yeah.
and even and I feel like if they get pressure on Geno and just disrupt him and just make him
Yeah.
flustered as much as he looked at on Monday night, then that increases their chances of winning. But I'm gonna pick the Jaguars on this one, but I feel that they got the momentum. They've had a bye week to heal up, to get rested, and all that. And I think there is a confidence with this group now. I think they feel that the work that they put in, they're seeing the benefits. And then you got a guy like Trevor Lawrence, who, if you look from week 3 to right now, he's improved every week, man. And he's a big, I mean, we don't have to explain that
Mm-hmm.
he's a big time talent, but he's cut down on interceptions. He's throwing the ball straight and hitting targets, and you know, reading where the blitz coming, when the blitz coming, and his
Oh man,
position.
that's been one of the biggest parts of his game
Mm-hmm.
that I've seen, and I'm like, wow, his blitz recognition and able to shuffle his feet and get out of bad plays with free rushers coming.
Oh yeah,
Man,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, they carried him in that Miami game because they came and they brought the kitchen sink, and he
yes
could
they did.
identify where that blitz was coming, change the call at the line of scrimmage. In fact, in that Miami game, hell, he looked like a fifth year veteran, not a rookie. He
Mm-hmm.
looked like a fifth
Yeah,
year veteran.
that's what Orlovsky said. Orlovsky said the throw to Agnew that
Oh
he
yeah,
had downfield. He said that's 6-year quarterback stuff right there.
yeah. Hot
Yeah,
read, hot play. Just get the ball at all that rush coming at him. He did another rollout play where man, they almost got him, and he got a pass out to Agnew, man. So, and
yeah,
like another thing that Meyer said, that he said that Agnew he gets the most separation out of all the receivers.
he did say that.
Yeah, and then they
Mm-hmm.
feel that he's a receiver now. I mean, he's among the top 3. So I'm
Yeah,
sure that they're going to utilize him against Seattle. And he's got speed, he got vision, and he can find the seams in the coverage to get open. So
yeah,
I think they got a shot, man. I know it's tough. That place is loud. It's probably, as they say, gonna probably be the loudest place they played at this year, even though it was loud in Cincinnati. But this is an opportunity for this team, man. This is a I don't know how many more they're gonna win, but this is definitely an opportunity for them to, you know, last time they won back-to-back games was 2019.
yeah, yeah. It is.
A
That's the
long,
last time.
long, long time ago, man. And they
Yeah,
did it twice that season. Even though they won 6 games, but you know,
yeah. Yeah. I think also points are going to be going to be at a premium Sunday. So I will lean more towards being conservative and kicking field goals, not going for it on fourth downs and fourth and goals. Just kick the field goal. You're going to need the points. Points are going to be at a premium. So that and I like what Urban Meyer said. That whole new coaching staff, new quarterback, all the excuses. He said that's over.
oh yeah, all that. Yep, that was a good statement that he said. No more,
Yeah,
no more. Because we done heard a whole lot of excuses from the previous regimes.
yeah. No more excuses. That's what he said. No more excuses. And he put that pressure on himself.
Yep. And he put it on his players that, hey, I'm sure he
Yep.
told the same thing to his players.
Yep.
We're playing to win. We're not playing to, okay, monitor our progress on, okay, we scored this amount of points last week, so we're gonna get this many this week. So they playing to win, which is a good thing. I like the aggressiveness, and I like not making excuses.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
And
hope he
they say they need to work Agnew into the offensive scheme. Oh yeah. He's that's a done deal. It's only a matter of time. And he wants to be good. I heard he say he wants to be good. He wants to be a top receiver in this league.
Yeah.
So let's hope he develops into that.
I think he will. I'll put my money on him.
Yeah. The kid he's special, man.
Yep.
He is special. So let's see what we got left. So we get Jazz, Seahawks. Oh, a few little quick hits before we go into a little NBA. Let's see, done with draft. Okay. Brady. So Brady threw his 600 touchdown Sunday, and for whatever reason, Mike Evans got excited and gave the ball to a fan in the stands. And they had to negotiate to get the ball back. And if I'm not mistaken, what he got for the ball when he gave the ball back, people calling him stupid. They saying that there's no way. Even Shannon Sharp, Shannon Sharp was like, I'm out the door with that ball. Like he said, I'm not giving the ball back to him. The auction, what's the auction house? I forgot the auction house name. A famous auction house. They had it estimated $500,000 off top. That's before the bidding even starts. That's the estimated value of that ball. They gave him 1 Bitcoin, season tickets for the rest of this year. Might be season tickets next year. 2 signed jerseys, and what else? Oh, and a game ball. There's no way. There's no way. Well, I tell you, I would have leveraged everything for that ball. I might have wanted one of Tom Brady's youngest, maybe his firstborn. Give me firstborn, dog, for this ball. Like he gave up. He gave up too much for that, man. Yeah, they say they wouldn't have gotten that ball back from me. Yeah, they wouldn't have got the ball back from me, man.
But he gave the ball up too quick, man.
He did. I would have at least got more than what they gave him.
Well, you know what I would have did? This is what I would have did. I would have been heading to 275, heading back to Ruskin. I would have been going home. I've seen enough of the game. Yeah, I'll see y'all. I'll be out the stadium. See you later.
Mm-hmm.
I would have bought me a souvenir Tampa Bay bag, and I would have been out the stadium. I'd catch the rest on the radio. They got a pretty good radio announcer in Tampa, and I would have been gone. I'll be checking out when the auction. What is the auction is?
Yeah. Right. I couldn't believe that, man, when I saw that. Let's see. Let me make sure I got it.
There's nothing they could have done about it either.
There's nothing they could have done about it.
Yep, it would have been time to leave the stadium. That's a $500,000 lotto ticket, man.
Yeah,
now,
man.
what they should do is give them season tickets for the, like lifetime or something.
Yeah, you have to. Let's see. 2 signed jerseys and a helmet from Brady. 1 signed jersey by Mike Evans and his game cleats. $1,000 to the Bucks team store. 2 season tickets for 2021 and rest of 21 and next year 22 and 1 Bitcoin. That's still not enough. That's still not enough. That's not enough, man. No, that's not an even trade. That's not enough. No, I want it all, man. I want everything.
Yeah, he probably get a Super Bowl ticket if they go back.
Yeah, and that's what Shannon said. He said, I want season tickets for life. At any time, if Brady and the Bucks go to the Super Bowl, I want tickets to the Super Bowl. He had named a bunch of stuff, so I was like, yeah, I would definitely be with that. So, they talked about Brady's 600 touchdown ball. What's next? Oh, trade rumors. So November 2nd is the trade deadline. Jacksonville might be in the wide receiver market. They were talking about wide receivers that may be available. One of the rumors that's been swirling, and this trade rumors have been swirling around him for a couple of years now, is Odell Beckham Jr. I like Odell Beckham Jr., but I don't want to give up what they're probably going to have to give up to go get him. Even though what you're going to give up, you're not going to be able to draft that player with those picks next year. You're not going to get a player of Odell's caliber next year in the draft. So I get that, but he comes here, we give up a lot of draft capital, and maybe a player or two. He comes here, and then he gets hurt. What do we have yet? Because that's the track record. That's the history right now, isn't it? Him getting hurt. They talked about Denzel Mims from the Jets. They say he buried on the depth chart in New York. He can't get on the field, but he's a very good player. He said no OBJ. He's a drama queen. Let's say a drama queen. Yeah, he got his issues. You know, it is what it is. But have you heard about them talking about Baker Mayfield and how Baker say, you know, he wants to prove himself to Cleveland? But I seen a thing today where they're talking about on ESPN, if the Browns can sign Case Keenum for cheap, do they move on from Baker Mayfield? I can't believe they had that discussion.
Creating the news, man. It's too early, man.
It's too early.
Is he on his second contract yet?
No.
Well, he's a bargain for right now. Why would you want to make that trade?
Right. Because they talking about them having to pay him Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson money. That's what they're talking about.
If they go, well, who else they gonna get and they don't have to pay that?
Right. That's what I want to know.
Unless they
start over,
to
make the guy.
They're gonna start over because I don't think Casey Keenum. Come on, he's a Band-Aid, but he's not a franchise quarterback. He's a backup quarterback.
He's a backup quarterback.
See, that's how Cleveland get in trouble with me, man. That's, you know, if I was a football fan and all that, it's hard to be a fan of the Cleveland Browns because those are, you know, they done made mistakes like that before.
Yes,
I remember all their quarterbacks, Brian Sipe and Bernie Kosar and all these guys, and they give up early on quarterbacks too quick there.
Yeah. Ness, you really think that? You think Baker purposefully does not throw him the ball or look to target him? And you know what? And I gotta say, Ness, you can make an argument that could be the case because it's unexplainable why that Baker can't get Odell the ball. Yeah. Odell, especially in the Vikings game when the Browns played the Vikings, he missed him a couple of times and he was open. So yeah. I don't know, man. It's hard to say.
There's some egos on the Browns, man. You know, it's probably about three of them on there. Garrett kind of in his own world. He's great.
Miles Garrett,
yeah. So he's not one of them. But the two receivers.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know Landry was such a diva. Landry's a diva too.
Yeah, he's a attention getter. There's no question about it, man. Yeah, I mean, you know, they were on the Hard Knocks.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes into the meeting room and stands up and tells the players what it means to win and everything, man. So it's a lot of divas in that offensive room, man. And wow. Baker probably one of the biggest ones, to be honest, though.
I think so. See, I'll go even further. I'll even go further and say Baker wants OBJ gone. He could. He could want OBJ gone.
I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, I don't think they're close, you know, and I don't, you know, I've seen some of the Brown games and I'm like, man, I look at the stats, I say, wait a minute now. The guy got 2 targets and 3 targets and,
mm-hmm.
you know, 2 catches. You can't find him open.
Right.
I mean, you might want to put the head coach in that or the offensive coordinator.
You have to.
And, you know, I look at it. Odell is Odell, man. You know, Odell can probably rub a lot of people wrong, man. You know?
Many.
But that's the price of business. That's the price of the NFL. And, you know, if I was Cleveland, and I don't know how long his future there with the Browns, but if I got a guy with his talent capabilities, I would utilize him. no matter how that increases his ego.
Right. Yeah. And say somebody wants OBJ going from Cleveland. Seriously. I believe that. And they're doing it at the expense of the team winning. because you can't tell me that OBJ brings an element that none of the other receivers bring. A guy who can consistently beat his matchup week in and week out. You don't have anybody else like that. Jarvis Landry is the closest to it, but he doesn't have the vertical speed that OBJ has. So
they got the problem that the Lakers got, man.
yeah, we gonna get into that. Yeah,
we're
definitely gonna get into that.
They got my team ego.
Yeah. That's
but I agree with him. I think there is some friction, something going on between the three of them. I think, and there's always something that prevents the Browns from winning big. And I wouldn't say they cursed it, but it just seems like there's always something internal that goes on to prevent them from winning. And coach not strong enough to stop it, players not strong enough to stop it. And it just seems that because they got the talent, there's no question they got talent. When Baker is healthy and they're pitching the ball downfield and using Nick Chubb, they got talent. But it just seems something peripheral, like they just, I don't know. It just seems like there's a cloud on that franchise, and it don't seem like they got a lot of harmony to me. You got to click. You got to have rhythm. You got to like each other. You got to have some respect among each other to start clicking and, playing with a rhythm. So, I don't know. You don't know what you're going to get from that team from week to week.
Yeah. No, you don't. And I was shocked to learn that they hadn't lost 2 games in a row under their head coach since he's been there.
No,
so they hadn't lost 2 games in a row. Yeah, their first time. They had lost. I think they hadn't lost 2 games in a row this year either. So yeah, that was a stat to say they haven't lost 2 games in a row under him. I say, man, that is shocking to me. This is what I did not know. Oh, they did it for the first time, lost 2 in a row the first time under him. But they bounced back and beat the Broncos, which the Broncos ain't looking as strong as they did early in the year, man. Look like a different team now.
Broncos. As long as that head coach there, that's about what you're gonna get.
That is, Fangio is retread. You see some teams. I thought Washington would be better, even with Fitzpatrick going down and Heineke coming in. I thought they'd be better, especially with that defense. They have a legit defense. Their front four is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, they're 2-5.
2-5. Lord have mercy. Playoff team last year.
Yeah, man. Where's J Mac? I gotta go see I'm gonna go see my barber soon. Get this wig shaped up. But his Giants are 2-5. They beat the Panthers Sunday, but he did say though he was out on Daniel Jones before the season because he was a Daniel Jones staunch supporter. But right before the season, he was like, "I'm out on it, dog." He said, "I can't do it. I watched him in training camp, watched him in preseason. He has progressed. He's making the same mistakes. I'm out." I said, "Dang."
Well, he caught a nice pass though.
He did. They say he channeled his inner Odell Beckham. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, the Falcons Dolphins was probably the best game at 30-28.
Yeah, I watched that, man. Tight end is that boy. He's a big time talent, man.
Hey, people say, everybody's saying now. They said, man, maybe we should have took Trevor at 1 and then just packaged the rest of the draft to get the 4th pick to get Kyle Pitts.
Yeah,
163 yards. The most by a rookie since 1970. A rookie, second most receiving yards by a rookie since 1970 by a tight end. That's insane.
That one-handed catch he made where the guy was grabbing his arm and he caught it.
Yeah.
That might be one of the best plays of the year.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, man. It was pretty good. Bengals Ravens. Oh my God, I watched that, and the Bengals. It's a lot of people still not sold on the Bengals, even though they did what they did to the Ravens. And I will say that if the Ravens were fully healthy, the Bengals don't beat them. I don't think they beat them, especially not like that. I don't think they beat them. But the injuries caught up with them. They couldn't run the football that well, and they were pretty much daring. They shut down the run, and the receivers couldn't get consistently open. Hollywood Brown did have a nice catch, but other than that, and pressure, they sacked Lamar, I think, like 5 or 6 times. He couldn't do anything. And looked downfield to make plays.
I think they're good. They're a good team, man. I think they got offensive weapons. They got young talent. They got a nice offensive line, and they can score. I mean, they can punch it in. I mean, that game against the Jaguars, the way they came back in the second half and just looked like a totally different team. And
they look dominant.
Yeah,
they look dominant. Oh man, the hot takes about this guy has been going, man, and people ready to sell the farm. They're moving off of them for their Super Bowl picks. The Chiefs. Holy mackerel! What is going on in Kansas City right now? The Titans punched them in the mouth, which I expect them to do. The Titans are they tough, man. They so tough. They so tough, I can't stand it. Like, how are y'all this tough? Y'all go and punch anybody in the mouth. It don't matter. No matter who it is.
Yeah, they walk it and talk it. That's what I say. You know, they've been past teams in the Jaguars that want to be tougher. When they get punched in the mouth, they don't punch back. Yep. And that's what they are. They're a physical team. They're physical on both sides of the ball in the trenches. And they punched they had some knockout blows on the Chiefs, man.
Yeah, man.
Look like the Chiefs been exposed, man. Look like there's something that they done figured out with the Chiefs. Yeah, because he can't. I mean, what's the wide receiver? I mean, he wasn't. He wasn't open. I assume he wasn't open.
Yeah. Let's see. The rest of the NFL has caught up with the Chiefs, who can't and don't run the ball, which helps the defense. Yeah, that's right, Ness. That is right. Yeah, he said the rest of the NFL caught up with the Chiefs, who don't run the ball, which helps the defense. Yeah, they don't take what's given, Ness. They don't take what's given. They always looking for the big play.
Yep.
They can't run the ball. Their defense is historically bad. It's historically bad. I mean, it's so bad that it's starting to affect the offense. Ness. And yeah, that's one of the issues. But as far as them figuring them out, I wouldn't say they're figuring them out. I think that this team isn't as talented as previous teams. They're not. And they can't overcome the mistakes that they made in the past. In the past, remember, they were down 24-0 to the Texans. They were down 17-0 to the Titans and came back and obliterated them. They don't have that capability anymore because this team is not as good. This reworked offensive line has holes in it still. It's not that good. Orlando Brown has been playing left tackle. He's slow. He can pass block, but he's slow. Guys go right around him. He's slow. They can't protect him. You can't run the football, and you're giving up 7 yards per play, 7.1 yards per play. The greatest offense in the history of the NFL was the Rams' greatest show on turf. They averaged 7 yards a play in that year, which was the NFL record. Yeah. They're giving up 7.1. That lets you know how bad the Chiefs' defense is. Yeah. So,
and I also think that they have no running game. You know, they can't control the ball on the ground. I mean, they're just like a ping ball team where they just, you know, as you say, they're always looking for the home run throw, and that's not happening anymore. So.
No, it's not there. They're playing that because you can't run. Now safeties can stay deep.
Yeah.
You see, once you take away Hill, their talent level drops off deeply. You talking about Kelsey? Kelsey can be contained. Yeah, I mean that's just I said that from the beginning. Everybody is enamored with speed all the time, and I get that. Speed is cool, but you don't have to be blazing fast to get separation. Jason Witten is one of the slowest players I've ever seen in my life, but he was always open. Mm-hmm. Larry Fitzgerald has never been confused for a speedster. He was always open, man. So they need guys who can separate, get open, but you need possession guys. Like right now, as much speed as we need, as they think we need on our offense in Jacksonville, you know, the receiver, I think what I would put at the top of my list to go pick up is Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is damn near at the top of my list to go pick up. And he's a possession receiver. But I know for sure Allen is going to catch the football.
Yeah.
This is what he does. He catches the football.
He would love to come here with this quarterback.
Hey, he took a little shot. He took a little shot at his organization too, because they asked about him and his lack of chemistry with Justin Fields. He said, "Well, that's because of Justin's lack of first team reps." I said, "Oh, okay, that's calling out the franchise. That's pretty much what it is. It's like you did not prepare your guy, and then you throw him out here. That's basically what he said."
Well, you gotta agree with it.
I gotta agree.
Yeah. You throwing them out there in the fire now. That's one of the things I don't understand, man. It's like you got a kid of that talent, man. You gotta utilize him before it's now he's forced into action.
Right. And he looked just despondent against the Buccaneers, man. I've never seen 3 picks and 3 fumbles in a game.
Yeah.
I had never seen that before.
So that is the backup. Is he hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Is the backup hurt? I can't think of his name, but the guy used to play with the Cowboys that they started ahead of him. Is he hurt?
Oh, Dalton. Yeah, Dalton is. I think. I think he's still hurt.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he said. I thought he said Adobe. He said Adobe would help this team tremendously. Well, it's a great program, but he was saying A-Rob. Yeah, A-Rob would definitely. Yeah, A-Rob will help this team. Yeah, tremendously. Yeah, because that is Trevor's safety valve. When it's all said, when the chips are down, it doesn't matter if he got a guy on his hip or not. You could throw the ball up to Allen, and he's going to come down 50-50 balls are his.
Yeah. I say this, man. In that 2017 season, he had the best training camp out of any player on that Jaguar team in 2017. And he obviously got hurt in the third play in that Houston game. Yeah. But man, he made Blake Bortles look good in practice.
Yeah. I just imagine what we would have looked like with him at wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. He looked strong, man. And he was pissed off.
Yeah. But you know what?
Kept throwing inaccurate balls.
That's what the Jaguars lack, So he was in the 2016 draft, right? What year was he in? 2015.
He had to be 2015 draft.
Yeah, 2015. So you don't have guys like him. I mean, that's your leaders right there. They're not on this team. Just imagine this guy would still be in Jacksonville as an 8-year veteran, and just he knows everything, all the system, and a great leader. And that's what they lack. They lack the homegrown leader.
Yep. Yeah.
Because he was great, man. That training camp, boy, I tell you, he caught everything.
Yeah.
Shoot,
we're lacking that on the back end as well on defense. You don't have a Jalen Ramsey back there. See, not only Jalen is a great cover guy, but he's a trash talker. And one of the issues with DJ Metcalf, from what I've seen, Metcalf is a great player, great talent, physical specimen, all those good things. He's temperamental, man. He allows players to get under his skin. He was fighting Marshawn Lattimore Monday night, man. They were going back and forth.
Yeah. And he initiated it too.
A couple of times. And then Marshawn did get him one time. He got him one time, and DJ couldn't retaliate, because if he did, he would have got a flag. So he had to just stand there. But he got him right in the chops one time. I saw it. I said, "Oh yeah, that was get back."
Yeah, because I don't think he did much after he caught the 84-yard touchdown. I mean, that was it.
No,
basically for the rest of the game. Yeah. I just hope a kid like Tyson Campbell, man, that they don't, Tyson got to be ready, because them guys don't talk. They gonna talk trash.
Yeah,
they are. Lockett, Metcalf, Everett. They go like you little. They gonna talk trash, man.
Yeah, and that's an immature jarhead. Yeah, he is. He's a meathead, man. He gets all in his feelings, and dude, come on. And it takes away from his game. Don't feed into it, man. Just go out there and push the dudes around and catch the football. Go do that. Stop talking. Every time he starts talking, it takes away from his game, and he tends to disappear.
Yeah, he disappeared.
Yeah.
He disappeared
So
in that Saints game.
yeah.
13-10. Boy, that's a hard loss, man. 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
All NFL teams supposed to score more than 10 points, unless you're the Texans.
Unless you're the Texans. So, but man, we're gonna put a pin in it there. Wrap up the NFL. I know next week. Hopefully, they get back on track, and it'll be another great week of football next week. I think it's just the matchup of games. It was lopsided because there weren't many competitive games. You only really had two or three competitive games last week. When before you would have at least 7 or 8. Seemed like the games that were played. You had at least all close to double-digit games where it was at least competitive for a majority of the game. But we're gonna move on from there. We're gonna go into the NBA, and man, this Lakers and the Nets right now, the two teams that were predicted to go to the NBA Finals. Neither one of them look like NBA final worthy teams right now. Now, I have faith that both can turn it around because Kevin Durant is still Kevin Durant. James Harden is catching all kind of slander, and I'm kind of here for it because I think James can be insufferable sometimes. I think that's a diva for sure. The fact that he got fat on Houston and was like, I didn't want to play no more, and got fat and showed up training camp fat. I was like, come on, dog. Like you can't do that. You can't do that. But I think that he's working his way back from injury. He said that one of his things, he's shooting 34% from the field, and he only has like 9 free throws for the season. And he usually leads the league in free throws. He said that he hadn't had a chance to really play pickup ball because he's been rehabbing. So he hasn't had a chance to really get back in the groove. He's just getting back and whatnot. So, and he's struggling with the new rule change as well because that's one of the biggest things. He don't have that bubble, that force field around him no more.
Yeah.
But I think that James is a great player, and he'll adjust eventually. I don't think he's not going to continue to shoot 34% from the field and to be this bad because he's never been this bad. So I don't think he's going to continue to be this bad.
Well, I think he's got to be more active. I think he's got to, he's not going to get free throws this year. No matter how many Euro steps he takes, he's not going to get those calls, man.
Oh, man.
But yeah. I want to see the James Harden who, obviously attack, but I don't know. I guess the verdict is still on the Nets. I guess they're adjusting not having Kyrie, but I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of, what role should he have almost? Do I like the facilitator James Harden, or do I like the guy that's always gonna take it off the dribble and attack the basket? And I think he's caught in between there. Actually, I saw him the other night, and he was. I don't think they were arguing, but somebody had supposed to switch. Something happened with him and Kevin Durant, and they were like it looked like they had a heated conversation. But
like Anthony Davis and
not
Dwight
like
Howard.
that. No, not like that. Well, not like that one.
That was real.
Well, the white like to bully people, man, and
he do.
He ain't gonna bully Anthony Davis, man. That's the Robin of the Lakers until LeBron leaves.
Yeah.
So for ego purposes, that's not gonna happen. And the white got to understand, man. The white with the Lakers is not the Dwight who played with the Magic.
Oh yeah.
He might be still big shoulders and all that, but come on, man, this ain't your team.
No, dude. Hey, AD is Robin, and hey, dude, you ain't even Alfred. So you come on now, come on, dog.
Yeah, well, we got to remember this the guy who was arguing with Kobe. Like, come on, man, you gonna come in the Lakers and take over Kobe's team?
Yeah.
Oh, with Houston, he couldn't get along with everybody in Houston either. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked, but I'm glad that AD manned up and say, hey man, this ain't your team, man. This
Yeah. And they
you
hashed it out. They say they squashed it. They hashed it out.
yeah.
But with the Nets right now, the Nets are not winning the title without Kyrie Irving. It's not
You're right.
happening.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that's the problem. I think they
Yeah.
lost the third cog and they were trying to find out how you make up that lost amount of production,
Mm-hmm. They and
Yeah.
people talking about now. He said they probably going to retract that whole. Well, we're not bringing him back. We're not re-signing him, and we're suspending him indefinitely because they came out and they said that pretty much they were washing their hands of Kyrie.
Yeah.
That tune, they said that tune might change.
Yeah, it might, loss is mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I tell you what, the East got some powers, man. It ain't just the West
Miami looked
anymore.
good.
Miami looked good last night.
Mm-hmm. It looked good. And they'll say the hardest thing on Dwight is his shoulders.
Yeah, that's about all he got, man. He still think he's Superman. I think he's trying to bullet somebody. I think, man, you what? You like the
Yeah.
seventh player on the team, man. You the seventh option, not the first,
Right.
second, or third, or fourth, man.
Right.
Play within the
Right.
system or go to another team. Go back to Philly.
Yeah. Yeah. The only way the Nets can rectify this is if somehow they learn how to play defense between now and the finals.
Well, I
And
don't know if
I don't
that's
think
gonna
that's
happen.
happening. That's not happening.
They're gonna have to find some talent on the before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
But
Ben Simmons. What's up?
yeah, I mean,
Call him up.
I think they ought to make the move, man. I mean, and I think I've heard this on one of the talk shows. I don't know, it was Stephen A. one of those shows, man. But I agree with this, man. It's time. It's time for Philly man. You done hit the hammer. You
Mm-hmm.
done hit the nail. You done drove the nail through the stake. At this point, I don't understand what they're accomplishing. I don't.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, I think it's time. We said this a week ago. I just think it's time to just get what you can get for them, move on.
Move on.
I mean, you done prove your point. I think both sides have proven their point, and just it's not helping you win games. So if it ain't helping you winning games, then what are you doing this for?
Yeah.
He's not playing, and you got an asset that just the longer he waits to play, it's decreasing his value anyway. So I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to make a move, man. I watched that Sacramento Kings team. I think they'll trade for him, and you'll get some young talent in return. I think that's what they need to look at. We'll bring in some young talent.
Yeah. 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 They talked about also Kristaps Porzingis because Dallas wants to get some up under that contract. So I think Kristaps can fit in Brooklyn with the Nets. I don't know, man. We'll see. But without Kyrie, without them making a big move, without Kyrie, you're not going to win the title. So the only way they do it is they got to make moves, but before the deadline. That's the only way. So
Well, they can't wait till February. They're gonna have to
yeah.
the heat good. We know Milwaukee good.
Yep.
I ain't been impressed with what I've seen from Washington so far.
Charlotte.
Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm. Chicago.
Well, I think Chicago might be a problem for Brooklyn.
I think so. I
I
think
think
so.
they're in that top four.
Yeah. The Nets, the Hornets and Chicago. They Chicago was either 1 and the Nets were 3. I think that's what it was. Yeah, Chicago was number 1 and the Hornets were number 3.
And another team is the Knicks. The Knicks right now beating the Bulls by 3. And the
Yeah.
Knicks, and I think the Knicks got long-standing talent, man. I don't think they're fading. So did he say Zion? Wait a minute. What did he say?
300 pounds. He said, "What's going on with Zion?" He
Yeah,
300 pounds, Ness.
yeah, he done gained like 200 since I last saw him. I saw him standing on the sideline with a suit, man. I thought he was like, man, I thought he played for the Saints. Man, I thought that was like,
Yeah.
what's the defensive end? I mean,
Oh, Cameron Jordan. He looked like Cameron
yeah, I
Jordan out
thought it
there.
was Cameron Jordan out there. I said, Lord, this dude done got, boy, he don't look nothing like he did in the opening season last year. He done
No,
gained
he
all
don't.
that weight back, man.
They talking about he been on beignets and gumbo.
Man, I know one thing he ain't on. He ain't on no rehab.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what? I'm starting to believe that's not a fit, man.
It's not. He'll be gone.
I just
He'll be
don't. I
leaving
don't. I don't
at
think
some
it'll
point.
fit. He don't look like he want to be there. Body language don't look like It's like he just sitting on a bench passing time, man. It just I don't see the fit, man. It takes longer from others, and sometimes it takes shorter time for some. But I don't know if the Pelicans are a right fit for him, man.
I don't think so either. I think it's a rat. It's a rat, man. That kid is I think he's
Imagine
done.
him in Charlotte, and they can push the
Oh.
pace.
Mm-hmm.
He would ball. That would be a good fit, man.
So
Or
is he in?
Chicago.
Yeah, he's not playing right now. He's still
No,
inactive.
no, no. He's still he's
Still
got a
rehabbing.
he's got a fractured bone in his foot.
Mm-hmm. And he gonna keep getting
And he got
fractured
off
bones
the
in his
bench
foot.
like 2 times last night when they lost to the Hawks.
He had on that god awful anime suit with the anime shoes.
Yeah, you saw that.
That was terrible.
Yeah, you saw the same thing I saw. I said, Lord, I'm mercy, man. This dude here, boy.
I'm an anime guy too. I love anime. I look the characters he had. Cool. That's cool. Not on no suit. No.
Yeah,
No.
well, but he was only on the bench for about all 10 minutes of the game. They showed another shot and said, damn, he done left.
He left.
Yeah, he
He left.
went back. He went back to get some grub.
Hey, he went back to refill up on that gumbo.
Yeah,
Extra
he
rice.
was eating that gumbo. He looked in there for they came back out after halftime. He was nowhere to be seen. Then he was still eating. Come
Right.
on, man. You gotta get in shape, brother.
You got to get in shape. You got to, because he's not going to have much of an NBA career. And I said this from the beginning. I said he's a player who's going to have to manage his weight. That weight is going to have to come down.
Yeah.
The older he get, the less he's going to have to weigh.
Well, they play too many games in the NBA. This ain't no 30-game season in college. Like college is 32 games. Got to play
80
82 games, man.
on those knees.
Yeah, with 300 pounds that he's jumping up in the air and dunking and all that, man. And he should want to get down, 285, 270, somewhere in that range, But
Yeah.
man, it's a lot goes in being an NBA player, man. It ain't just it's a commitment, and it ain't just all about talent, you know.
No, it's not.
You gotta always think about long term, man. You can't always think about short term. What's the long term benefit of my career?
Yeah.
And then as all coaches and franchise say, his availability is a question now. He's been hurt 2 out of the 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, what's that? Dungy? Is it either Dungy or Herm Edwards? Your best ability is your availability.
Exactly.
Period. Yeah. Can't make the team in the cold tub. I've heard all kind of sayings, man. It's just
I think this guy gonna be around. They're gonna go. He gonna come back, and then things ain't gonna go right. They're gonna be like 50 games out of first, and he gonna follow the same route that AD did. That I want out.
mm-hmm.
Well, and basketball it's a question mark in New Orleans, man. No matter what people say, Seattle still want a team. And you look up in the stands, they got empty seats in the arena. The team don't look like they going nowhere. And I feel the same way about the Magic. I watch the Magic, and I see young talent, but I don't see
Yeah.
no direction. I don't see a building block to tell me that, man, this franchise on the right track for the next 5 years. I watch that team. I see young talent after young talent, and then I see. I mean, they they played the other night. Um, I think it was the Knicks they beat the Knicks the next night, but the first night they were down by 30. And sometimes you got to build your team. Like you from Jacksonville. I mean, I think that's what the people from the Magic should think. How how can we get somebody from Jacksonville wanting to go see this team and drive 2 hours to go see them?
Yeah.
You gotta get some players. I mean, I think they got some great young players, but you got to get some players that's some veteran stars. They got the arena, they got a great city, and they got to stop thinking like they're you know like they're a bit player. You gotta act like you playing for a championship, man. And I don't think they do that there. Just my
No.
opinion.
Right.
Or in New Orleans, New Orleans the same way. I like the young players. I like Brandon Ingram, but they got nothing. They got all young players. They got no veterans. It's just you.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that game last night and I say, watch Atlanta come back. Watch watch Atlanta find a way to win. And what did they do? They found a way to win.
Found a way to win. That's it. That's it. So now the Lakers have some issues, but their issues are different from the Nets. I think their issue is chemistry and figuring out how those pieces fit.
Yeah,
Off top, one thing we know for certain we know this is written in stone. Thou shalt not play Rondo and Westbrook at the same time. You
yeah,
can't do it. I mean, it's awful. It's awful. Those two should very small amounts of time. So, dude, ever since when they've been on the field, I forgot how many court together. They've been outscored by 23 points when they've been on the court together.
yeah.
23 points. So
Well, they got to get the chemistry going, man.
got to get the chemistry going. Ariza, well, you're missing Ariza. You're missing Taylor Horton Tucker. LeBron has a sore ankle, which, hey, this is how you know LeBron's getting old. Him missing the game due to him having that collision, which collision that didn't look that bad, but
Yeah.
he's been out the last two games.
Well, didn't he stay in the game? I think he got hurt.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think it's the chemistry. One thing we see is LeBron and AD are like peanut butter and jelly. Those guys, they have no issue getting to where they need to be. Who they need to work in is Russell Westbrook. Russell looks like he looked like he's doing what Anthony Davis did.
Yeah. He's a fern.
Passing. He's
Yeah.
being passing. He's
Yeah.
being passive. Yeah. When LeBron and them out, he kind of took the lead and he played very well. He had 10 turnovers, which he have turnovers from time to time. It's kind of something you're gonna have to deal with. But even with his turnovers, his playmaking ability is second to none. Points off of assists, he's led the league 3 out of the last 4 years. Only time he didn't do it was when he played alongside James Harden. But the guy he's proven it's going to take some time for him to get used to playing with LeBron and Anthony Davis. I mean, but any LeBron team that has been put together, there was always a period where you got to gel, you got to figure it out, you got to put the pieces together. And Frank Vogel has to be better in the crunch time too. He has some questionable decision making this year so far.
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with my man Charles Barkley. I think the answer
What do you
is
say?
Westbrook got to be on the second unit
Mm-hmm.
for him to be Westbrook. Once
Yeah.
LeBron come back, you know, LeBron is he's going to handle the ball. I mean, he has. I mean, Westbrook has to have the ball in his hands. And
Yeah.
when you got AD and LeBron, I mean, come on, man. It's not. There ain't enough balls to go around on that first team unit. Now maybe they should put, I think they should do it in reverse. I think Westbrook fits better with the second unit.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So he
think
can
so too.
push the pace. It doesn't matter how many minutes. He'll still get his minute with the second unit. But I just think that'll be a better fit, especially when LeBron come back. Because I think when he for the little bit that I've seen, it just seems that he don't know how to. He can't. He don't. I won't say he can't. I just don't think he knows how. He is passive when LeBron is on the floor. So
Yeah.
maybe Rondo should go as a starting guard or whatever to be the facilitator, and then put Westbrook so he can push the pace and play like he normally play. I don't know if he can play like he normally play with AD and LeBron.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about winning. I mean, the thing is so hard about the NBA players, man. If you look at the great teams, everybody got a sacrifice. If you got that man, if you get a collection of stars, people going. I mean, when you look at when LeBron was with Miami, D Wade sacrificed. He had to sacrifice a little bit,
Yeah.
and
Bosh
and
too.
yeah. So West if West, I say this: if Westbrook want to be the Westbrook that he's been, then he's on the wrong franchise. He got to find
Yeah.
a team that dominate the ball and those kind of things. He can't dominate the ball when you got two guys as good as LeBron and AD. You're not going to dominate the ball. The ball got to move,
Yeah.
and it can't stick in his hands. He's not going to be playing with that group as a starter. He's not going to be a triple double guy on that team. I mean, not with the first team unit. So I feel that if you want to get the best out of what you got in Westbrook, put Rondo as a starter or whatever, and then put Westbrook with the second unit so they can push the pace and he can
Yeah.
play. He'll be that guy with the second unit, because I think
Yeah.
if they don't do it that way, the styles is going to clash, and they gotta you got to get AD got to get his shots. They're not going to win if he don't get 14 shots or whatever it might be. And
Yeah.
LeBron, you don't even have to ask. He gonna get his shots whether Westbrook, AD, it don't matter, because he got
Don't
the
matter.
ball in his hands. You
Yeah.
know, and that's some
Yep.
of the things they have to think about. It ain't all about the big name. It's about if can the chemistry fit. Can
That's it.
this chemistry fit with this team to make us better?
Yeah.
I think Carmelo don't have a problem. I mean, I would like to see. I mean, maybe Carmelo and Westbrook on that second unit. I mean,
Hmm.
that's a 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can put Carmelo, Westbrook, AD, and LeBron out
On the
and
court together.
on the court together.
Yeah.
It's like that don't fit.
No.
It might have worked 10 years ago, but it don't fit.
No, it
Everybody
doesn't
got to
fit.
everybody got to get their shot.
Yeah. No, I agree with that 1,000%. Yeah. They better hope that they don't figure it out before the playoffs, which I think they are. I think they'll try to figure it out after the All-Star break.
But you know what, Brandon? I love watching Golden State. Even I don't know if this Golden
Oh,
State
Steph
team.
Curry to turn back the
Yeah,
clock, baby.
yeah, I don't know if they good as that win the pass, but I will say this: their ball movement and how they run the offense is just a thing of beauty, man.
Yes. And they play excellent defense.
Yep, yep,
Excellent defense. So watch out. The Warriors look good. And
man,
Clay isn't even back yet.
man.
He's pissed off too. I hope that he paces himself when he comes back, because just like Dwight hasn't really heard him say anything about it, but he was pissed that he was snubbed from the 75 the NBA 75, the 75th year anniversary team, top 75 NBA players in NBA history. Yeah, they snubbed him. Yeah.
What do you think? Just because he's been out for 2 years, 3 years?
That's all. That's the only reason you had to have done that. Only reason. Because he hasn't played. Because I don't see who's guys on that list that I legit was like, yo, Klay Thompson shoot them out the gym.
Yeah.
No issue. No issue at all. And we're not talking about old guys from the 30s and the 40s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. No, we're talking about dudes present day. He'll shoot them out the gym. That was on that list.
Yeah. You know, the Suns 1-3, man.
Wow, I didn't know they were 1-3.
Yep.
Man, what they got going on?
I don't know what it is. It's just they lost to the Kings last night on the last second shot.
The Kings? Well, the Kings do look better. Kings do look better. I will say.
Last second shot. I think it's Aiden, man. He said he wanted the contract. No.
Right. So,
see how they pan out, man. They 1-3.
Yeah, Dallas doesn't look that impressive this year either.
Nah.
As a team, they don't. They just Luka.
They're getting used to Jason Kidd, man. And I think the Suns getting the real money there for this year too.
Right.
Oh man, that look like, boy, you start 1-3. That's like a 36-win season, man. Can't start out 1-3, 1-4, man. Can't lose to Sacramento either.
No, you can't.
Yeah, Buddy Hield. They got Buddy Hield was shooting jump shots last night.
Buddy Hield has turned into a very, very good player. I know they said him coming out. They talked about how limited he was, but he's turned into a very good player.
Well, he left the Pelicans. He went to a real franchise.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. So
Buddy Hield done got paid, man.
Yeah, he got his money.
He's from the Bahamas, man. He liked that money.
Yeah, he got his money. Matter of fact, before the Westbrook trade, there was rumors that the Lakers are interested in Buddy Hield and going to get him.
Might have been a good deal. They need outside shooting.
Yeah, so they looked at it. I guess the Kings probably wanted the farm for him. So that's probably why they didn't pull the trigger. But I heard that he was in the mix as far as a potential replacement coming in after Mr. Darren Schroeder fumbled the bag.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers.
Well, Dennis Schroeder.
Make some more moves before the trade deadline.
Yeah, I think some more moves are definitely going to be made. So
how about them Hawks, man?
The Hawks.
The Hawks.
What's the Hawks record?
They 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, they won their third game last night. They 3-1. They look, I like Collins. He's a good player, boy.
Okay. Yeah, I do like Collins. I think he is a good player. I think he is a really good player. So, we're gonna wrap that up there, and we're gonna end it with this. It's gonna be a little quick, short story before we wrap it up. And this is the cherry on top for the day for me. I told my coworker after I saw this story, I said, "Please stop the rotation of the planet and let me get off right here, and because I'm done with this world." So, PETA, the animal rights activist group, claims the term bullpen devalues talented players and mocks the misery of sensitive animals. They want the MLB to rename the bullpen, which pitchers are used to warm up. They wanted to have a more animal-friendly name, and they wanted to call it a arm barn. So, give y'all the what they said. It said, words matter and baseball bullpens devalue talented players and mock the misery of sensitive animals. It said, PETA encourages Major League Baseball coaches, announcers, players, and fans to change up their language and embrace the arm barn instead. And they talked about how the bullpen and, what it represents. And, that's where the cows are taken before they go to slaughter. Before the bulls were put into competitions, they were taken to the bullpen, before the bullfighting or whatever. And I will say this, man. What the hell are we doing? Why is this important?
Yeah, that's what I say. Well,
Bullpen?
let's go back. I mean, how long baseball? 1873.
Somewhere up in the
I think baseball been around since 1873.
Yeah.
So it's 2021, right?
Yeah. So 150
So
years coming up, right?
so 150 years we feel that the word bullpen is a problem.
Right.
What's gonna be next? I mean, I'm almost like the beer garden. That's gonna offend some people, or the outfield seats gonna defend some people. I mean, it's come on, man. Enough is enough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been called a bullpen for the last, when I think of a bullpen, I'm not thinking of the hog about to go to slaughter.
Right.
I'm thinking about, hey, the relievers getting their arms ready.
Right.
And then the replacement word, that I mean, that's just don't even sound like it should be in sports. The arm barn, I mean, what is that?
What is that? What is that? And then this is a slippery slope, man. I was talking to my coworker today, and he brought it up. This is a slippery slope because why stop at bullpen? Why stop there?
That's the problem. Why not? I mean,
Yeah.
I
So
mean, I feel
Cleveland has what they call the dog pound. They need to change it then. Change the dog pound. Jaguars, Falcons, Seahawks, any animal, Ravens, animal name teams, Panthers, get them out of here. I mean, where does this end?
Yeah, I've been following sports my whole life. I never felt that a bullpen was offensive. I say, Lord, have mercy.
To animals that don't understand the word. It's just a word.
Oh, that mercy. We got too much in the world to be worried about than talking about a bullpen, man. We got global warming and all kind of things going on. Northeasterners and we down to bullpens as an offensive name.
Yeah.
I have to call it real, man. I mean, come on, that don't move the needle for me.
Right. Yeah.
I just want life to be simple. You know, I grew up in the 70s when everything was just and it wasn't like everything was perfect, but everything wasn't analyzed, scrutinized, thrown in the trash can because a group says one group that I might add that says that it's offensive. I mean, I know we live in a world where we want to be in a perfect world, but come on, man. I mean, baseball been around 150 years. You go back in the history books, it's been called bullpen that long. That's almost like that's almost like saying Babe Ruth was offensive because of his name is Babe. I mean, come on, man. Enough is enough.
Right. Yeah, next they want to go to as a matter of fact, don't stop there. Don't stop at bullpen and don't stop at the animal names. The Cowboys got to go too. If that's the case, that's a derogatory term to cows.
Cowboys. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. Which we found out, which I didn't know, that is a term steeped in racism because white men on the plantation were called cow hands. And the slaves were called cowboys. So I didn't know that's where that came from.
No, so it's a racially insensitive name too, huh?
Yeah, but as black people, it is what it is because they always talk about black cowboys, and we like, there's been plenty of black cowboys. Some of the first cowboys were actually black.
Yeah,
but they find out that the slave owners were cow hands. And they call the slaves cowboys. It makes sense.
Well, Brandon, I don't know about our world, man. I wish they could bring back Captain Kangaroo and Gilligan Island love songs and just everybody be okay. Bring back the disco or something, man. But
Yeah.
I think we done went on the mothership connection and we don't know when we coming back.
No.
We might as
No, we
well go
don't.
play the P Funk or something. I mean, they got to get something back to normal because right now we ain't living in normal times, man.
No, we're
Not at
not.
all. You know,
No.
it's almost like we gonna mark the list and see, well, what can we ban today? And then and I don't mind changing if the world changed for the better, but it looked like certain things change that don't have no emphasis at all. I mean, we're gonna change things, change racism. I mean, change something that matters.
Please.
Advocate things that's gonna have a long term impact on the kids of the day instead of
Please.
bullpens and that's what change should be. Change that's for a positive, that's gonna impact and we all gonna benefit from it. The world's not
Yeah.
gonna change because baseball calling their bullpen the arm barn. I gotta go on record with that. Yeah, I said it. John Reid, Lord, is the day Friday or Thursday? Because
Today's Thursday.
man, that might have been one of the craziest things I heard all week.
Yeah.
The
It
game,
takes the cake.
the game has been around since 150 years, and now it all of a sudden in 2021, which I might add, we almost in November, and it's not acceptable to say bullpen anymore. We need to check that and see if there's an offensive word for bench. Is there an offensive word? Is bench offensive?
I don't know. We're gonna find out. Everything that's that's offensive in some way, I have a feeling that we're gonna find
Yeah.
out about it over the next decade.
Front row seat, offensive.
Yeah. Hmm.
Skyscraper, offensive.
That's offensive. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
man, out of bounds, offensive.
Hmm. And
That's what.
this goes to show what Dave Chappelle said and how Dave was basically right. Dave was right. He's like, dude, people are so sensitive today, man. You talking about some words. It's just words. It's just
Yeah,
words. That's all it is. It's just
yeah.
a word.
Just words. We got a lot more problems in this world right now
I mean,
to be
how many
worried
bull
about bullpens. I mean, come on, man. That's my argument right there. That's what I go on record. We
yeah,
got too many issues in this country, in this world, to be worried about the bullpen name for of a game of baseball who been around for 150 years. We got a lot more problems than to be concerned about that.
right. Now I could see if let's say some we're in bizarro world. So for some strange reason, every time the word bullpen was uttered on the national broadcast or at a baseball game, a bull died or something like that. Like,
Right.
okay, all right, I can see it. It was like, could y'all please stop saying bullpen? The Bulls are dying. Could y'all please stop? I get that. Cool. We got to save the Bulls. But
But
come on.
granted, it's almost a first reference to baseball. I mean, if
If you say
I
bullpen,
I
people
don't
think baseball.
I don't have my Webster with me, but I guarantee you, if you look at the definition of bullpen, I guarantee you, if it ain't the first reference, it's the second reference to. I mean, it's almost that's what people identify that word as.
Yes.
I don't identify that as a slaughterhouse or going to the bull, whatever. I mean, I don't know. And another thing, I love animals. I have a dog, but we do eat animals, don't we?
We do.
Yeah, we do eat steaks and chicken and fish,
Hmm.
so we do eat those products.
Yeah, we do.
So
So
I
when
hope
I
I
tell you,
wasn't saying
you
anything offensive when I say that, but we do eat cows.
right. So you are correct, sir. Definition one in Merriam-Webster: a large cell where prisoners are detained until brought into court. commonly called the bullpen. The court lockup is behind the courtroom and is used as a holding area for prisoners. Definition 2, a place on a baseball field where pitchers warm up before they start pitching. That's Merriam-Webster, people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
B, that's 2A. 2B is the relief pitchers of a baseball team. So not only is the bullpen referring to where they warm up, the bullpen refers to where the relief pitchers are.
Yeah.
They reside in the bullpen.
That's what I thought. And I guess we were never going to offend somebody being in the bullpen for jail. I know that ain't going to offend nobody. So,
right.
You know, so I know they're not arguing about that.
Right.
Man, this is going out of hand, man. And that's Webster's dictionary. You know, was there any reference at all about a bullpen in there or about an animal? Where is that? Like the fifth reference?
Let's see. Hold on. I had to leave. Let me pull it back up. Where I'm at. It might have been. Did I see any on there? Let me see. 3, an open work or area not divided into offices. Okay, I see no. None
in Webster.
None in Webster.
That's the authoritative of dictionaries is the Webster. So that's what I'm talking about right there. We creating a name for it. We have created a new name and we want to ban it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, it is what it is, man.
Well, Webster is Webster. It's the top of the line for dictionaries. So I'm sure they got it right.
Yeah, they got it right. Let's see. But man, that is it. We're gonna wrap up here. What I got going on? Okay. We're gonna wrap it up here. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you follow Mr. Reid on Jacksonville.com, Florida Times Union, and follow him on Twitter. Any closing thoughts you have before we get out of here?
Well, these guys, the Jaguars, I think this is a big game, man.
One time.
Yeah, put that Jaguars on there.
Yeah, I got that, and hey, don't know where I got that too. So
you got the Jaguar water. They got the alkaline water.
Stay hydrated. Jaguar hydration right here. Stay hydrated, people.
Well, I say this here, man. You got to get your joy this week because Buffalo come to town next week, so they need to go. They need to go to Seattle, even if they 3-13 all time on the West Coast. 0-3 in Seattle. This is your best opportunity to get that victory against the Seahawks and Pete Carroll. So I think they can do it, and I think that'd be a good step for a young team to win back-to-back games for the first time since 2019. So I'm picking the Jaguars. I'm probably 24-14, something like that. But I trust Trevor gonna come out throwing, and James Robinson gonna come out running. And Lord help the defense. That's my biggest concern. The offensive line has made me eat my words because I criticized them from training camp to now.
We all did,
but they're actually playing better, and they're protecting the franchise quarterback. So they need a win, man. I mean, this will be validation that they're moving in the right direction. So victory in Seattle. In the rain. I think it's gonna rain.
Yep. Oh no. I looked it up. I seen it's supposed to be 55. It's supposed to be cool, but I seen clear skies.
Oh man.
55 sunny, no clouds.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood
on wood for a Jaguar victory.
Because I was talking to a coworker today, and we were talking about that, and he said what the weather's going to be like, and we looked it up, and he said 55 clear skies. So
that's excellent for them. So they won't have to change the scheme, and then with no weather impact, and They just got to take the crowd out the game, man. But I think they can do it. I think they, coming off an a bye week, they done had an extra week to prepare, and they worked during the bye week a little bit. So they got Trevor. Trevor, it's time for Trevor to shine, man.
Yep. Time to shine. But who was it? Is it Orlovsky, or it's one of the quarterbacks? He writes the NFL Network, and he does articles from NFL Network from time to time, and he was talking about important players, and he said that even though Trevor Lawrence has come along in the last 3 weeks and he's looking like what he was built to be, the focal point of the offense is James Robinson, and they should never forget that.
Oh, yeah. But it took him 3 weeks to figure that out. So, yeah, he's definitely the focal point of the offense. And they got to – I would like to see him get 20-something carries, man. Just going and, nothing wrong with ball control. Nothing wrong keeping Seattle's offense on the sideline. Control the clock. Take the crowd out the game. Hey, as long as they are offense on the field, the better chances they got to score. So you got to play the percentages, and the percentages is a 8, 10, 12, 13 play drive, and that'll help you win and eat the clock and help you win.
Yeah, definitely will, man. So we will see Sunday. But until next time, make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to all of my YouTube, my IG, Twitter, TikTok. I'm getting back on my TikTok, and I'm getting back on my because you done brought it up to me a couple of times, and I'm finally ready to get to do it. About to do it. Putting all of these, stripping the audios, putting it on my Spotify and my Google Podcast, so people can listen to them, because more people are still listening to podcasts. That I don't think the audio ones, while they're working and while they're on their road trips, they listen to that more than anything. A lot of people watch YouTube and say, but they listen to podcasts, they listen to the radio more than anything. So,
you gotta have some entertainment for them workers out there working that night shift, man. They need something to listen to, man.
Right. So hey,
we all for the people that work at night, late at night, and all night. Them the hard workers, man.
Yeah, I will never do it again. Yeah, I'm not built for that. I did it for 2 years.
Yeah, I did it once, boy. I tell you, boy, that was like being Dracula.
It was. I was a walking zombie for 2 years. It was. Can't do it. Cannot do
all the love in the world for those people that do that, boy. Them the grinders, man.
Yeah. So, and I'll catch y'all next time. I might be back in here tomorrow and Saturday, depending on how the schedules go. I'll be back with my buddy Sean Taylor. We'll be on his podcast tomorrow. So I won't be back on mine, but I'll be on his. But I'll share it on my page. Everybody could be able to see it. And we'll be back on mine Saturday. And then we should be back again Monday. So it should be 3 shows in probably the next 4 days or so, if everything, works out. And then next Wednesday, I will have a special guest on, have a young lady, and we're going to have a discussion about dating versus courting. That is going to be a good show.
Oh, man, I got to listen in on that one.
Yeah, man. Me and her, we had a nice little back and forth on Facebook. And I said, we need to talk about this on my podcast. She was like, cool. So we're going to do it, and we're going to talk about dating versus courting, because she said she's done with the dating. She said she's courting only. She said she's trying to get married. She's tired of playing these games out here, man. Everybody playing games. Man. There's no more R&B, Mr. Reid. Our R&B is dead.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So no more romantic comedies, Disney. It's all dead. It's all gone. It's all gone.
Yeah, you got to bring back the Frankie Beverly's and
right, man. So make sure y'all tune in for that. But until next time, y'all, we are out of here.
Yeah, shout out to the bullpens.
Yes.
Bullpens,
y'all. Y'all take care.